what really happened to Margaret Thatcher's son, who was lost in the desert. Thatcher's son went missing in the Sahara Desert in 1982. The story dominated the news, for countries were involved in the search. But what had happened to him? Mark Thatcher was primarily known as a businessman. In the 1970s, he moved to Hong Kong. There, he built up a network of business connections in motor racing. A lot of them were concentrated in the Middle East. In 1977, he set up Mark Thatcher Racing. He started participating in Britain's amateur racing scene. Thatcher received a lot of publicity for his exploits. In 1980, he took it to the next level by entering Le Mans. One of the sponsors said that they were running in the Paris-Dakar Rally. They had 3 Peugeots and offered Thatcher to take part. He agreed, but promptly forgot about it. A year and a half had passed. Thatcher was reminded about the rally, but he wasn't ready.
"I did absolutely no preparation, nothing,"
he said later. Still, he took off with his French driver and a mechanic. A few days in, when traveling across the Sahara, they got lost. They were declared missing on January 12, 1982. Mark Thatcher's disappearance gripped the country for almost a week. Margaret Thatcher was reportedly very upset and very distressed. Mark had last been spotted 2 days earlier. He was driving near the border between Mali and Algeria. He was in a convoy with 2 other cars. They become separated after stopping for repairs. But after the rally, organizers couldn't find the lost Peugeot 504. Mrs. Thatcher intervened. She called the Algerian ambassador for help. The search effort involved 4 Algerian planes and a helicopter. Additionally, 3 French aircraft and a diverted RAF Hercules were used. Algerian ground troops were involved as well. Mark's father flew out to Algeria to help. The Algerian government covered most of costs. Margaret Thatcher paid $2,000 of her own money. She was expected to pay $700. The rest would have been covered by taxpayer money. However, she wanted to avoid a possible public backlash. The party was finally discovered on January 14th. They'd been missing for 6 days and were 31 miles off route. Their water rations were down to 2 cups a day. Mark was reportedly unaffected by the ordeal. All he needed was a beer and a sandwich, a bath and a shave. It was an Algerian Air Force plane that finally spotted them. Mark and his father were reunited. They were flown back to the UK in the Algerian presidential jet. A celebration dinner was held. It reportedly racked up an astronomical bill. It even led to the Foreign Office being contacted. Mrs. Thatcher was forced to cover the bill from her own pocket.